me show you something. It's really a nice view over here.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're exploring the most shocking times that people confessed to a crime shortly before they believed they'd pass away, leading to a cold case finally being solved.
She said she just snapped.
Carolyn!
It had enough.
Larry Webb. In 2000, Natasha Alex Carter and her mother Susan vanished from West Virginia. For years, the authorities had no idea what happened. Yet Alex's father, Rick Lafferty, kept searching.
I made up some flyers, posters, missing child posters. I was putting them everywhere.
Finally, they had an answer in 2022. While staying at a nursing facility, Webb informed the police that he'd killed the mother and daughter at his home, where they were residing at the time. After some of his money went missing, he blamed Susan, resulting in a fatal shooting. He then took Alex's life as she witnessed the crime. Investigators examined the house and found a bullet in the wall of Alex's bedroom.
The confession aligned with exactly the investigative efforts and the evidence collected.
Shortly after Webb died in 2024, Alex and Susan's bodies were found buried at his home.
Just never give it up. Never. Because someone's going to listen. Eventually, someone will listen.
Theodore John Conrad. In 2021, Thomas Randele was approaching his demise from lung cancer. Shortly after a chemotherapy session, he decided to come clean to his daughter.
Mom, Dad, and I were in the living room watching NCIS, and he just sort of out of the blue calmly said, "Well, ladies, just in case something comes up after I pass, I just need to let you know that I changed my name when I moved here."
He admitted that his real name was Theodore John Conrad and that he'd been on the run since 1969. That year, he'd stolen $250,000, around $1.9 million now, from the bank he worked at in Cleveland, Ohio, before vanishing from the authorities.
On the Friday before his 20th birthday, he simply filled a bag full of cash and walked away, never to be seen again.
U.S. Marshal John K. Elliott and his son Peter, who took over the case, spent years searching for Randele. After Randele's passing in 2021, Peter was tipped off about his obituary and pieced it together. The family admitted they knew about Randele's confession, but they didn't face criminal charges for not disclosing it.
I just assumed that since I had no secrets from him, he wouldn't have any from me.
James Washington. In 2009, while serving a 15-year sentence for attempted murder, Washington suffered a heart attack that caused him to be hospitalized.
And he just kind of, as best he could, motioned for me and asked me to come here. I got something to tell you.
Believing his life to be nearing its end, he called over prison guard James Tomlinson and confessed to the 1995 murder of Joyce Goodner, whose body was found in an abandoned house in Nashville, Tennessee. At the time, there was no physical evidence linking anyone to the crime. Unfortunately for Washington, he survived his medical crisis and was charged with Goodner's murder.
All of a sudden, I just get this phone call and they said, "We think we found him."
Washington alleged that the medicine he was given in the hospital caused him to give a false confession.
He was scared, but you took her life. Did you think she was scared?
However, that wasn't believed, and he was found guilty of Goodner's murder in 2012, earning him a life sentence. Naaman Diller. In 1983, the LA Mayor Museum for Islamic Art in Jerusalem experienced a heist. After casing the place, memorizing guard routes, and taking advantage of a broken alarm, the thief took off with 106 timepieces, including the legendary Marie Antoinette watch by Abraham Louis Breguet, worth over $30 million. Despite a $2 million reward for information, the items weren't seen again. However, in 2006, that changed when Nili Shamrat agreed to sell some of the goods back to the museum for around $40,000. However, after the news of the deal leaked, the police investigated. Shortly before her husband Diller passed away in 2004, he confessed to Shamrat that he'd robbed the museum.
"I heard things about his pet. I have fallen in love with him."
For keeping it secret, she was sentenced to probation and community service. Otis Toole. In 1981, Adam Walsh vanished from a department store in Hollywood, Florida.
Police are so frustrated. Nobody's really come forth, and the clues that we haven't come up with anything substantial.
While the media descended on the area to publicize the search for him, after 2 weeks, Adam's remains were found. For decades, the killer wasn't found. Adam's father, John, became an anti-crime activist and hosted America's Most Wanted.
Good evening from Washington, D.C. It's Sunday, April 15th, and I'm John Walsh.
One person linked to Adam's murder was Toole, who confessed to it multiple times. However, he recanted it each time. In 1984, Toole was found guilty of several other murders, earning him life imprisonment. During that period, he admitted to further killings. In 1996, just before he died, Toole's niece stated he confessed to Adam's murder. Despite that, it wasn't until 2008 when the police concluded Toole was responsible and closed the case.
Police say the circumstantial evidence is overwhelming.
This is a day that's long overdue. It truly is.
Sharon Diane Crawford Smith. In 2008, Smith was approaching the end of her life with a terminal illness. With time running out, she decided to put to bed a secret she'd held onto for decades.
So Diane, are you finally ready to tell us what happened that night?
I don't want anybody to hear this. I want everybody out.
In 1967, Smith was working at High's Ice Cream Shop in Staunton, Virginia. After being mocked by her coworkers Constance Smoots Heavener and Carolyn Heavener Perry for being a lesbian, Smith shot the duo at the shop and stole money from the register.
Oh, I just kind of had it with everybody, everything, my whole life.
No one was sentenced in the case. Smith also claimed the lead detective, David Bocock, knew what she'd done, and he'd hidden the firearm to cover the crime up. However, he passed away in 2006. A month after being charged with a double murder, Smith passed away.
Stanton, Virginia's greatest mystery has finally been solved.
Geraldine Kelly. For over a decade, Kelly's 2 children believed their father, John, had left the family and perished in a car accident. Yet in 2004, shortly before succumbing to cancer, she finally told them the truth.
When it was clear that her days were numbered, Jerry called her daughter to her bedside.
When the couple were working as in-house managers at a California motel, they regularly fought, which was reportedly witnessed by their children, who later became estranged from them. The violence resulted in Kelly fatally shooting John around 1992 before conducting her deception.
Jerry said she had finally had enough.
She then placed his body in a storage freezer, even moving it with her when she relocated from California to Somerville, Massachusetts. The police investigated and found John's remains still in the freezer. Harvey Richardson. In 2008, decorators were inside Richardson's home in Aspole, England. They were there to clean up after his passing. However, the workers stumbled upon a satchel containing an envelope labeled
"Private and Confidential."
Inside was a 9-page confession that Richardson had taken the life of Lorraine Jacob in Liverpool during 1970. The envelope also had a newspaper clipping about the case. In 2009, after Richardson's DNA matched the evidence in Jacob's case, the police confirmed that if he were alive, he would have been charged with her murder before closing the case. Richardson's envelope also contained a clipping about Jacqueline Ansel Lamb's unsolved murder in 1970. However, no confession or evidence linked him to that crime. Paul Michael Stefani. In 1997, while serving a 58-year sentence for murdering Barbara Simons and attempting to murder Denise Williams, Stefani, better known as the Weepy-Voiced Killer for the remorseful phone calls he had made to the cops, had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. So he decided to come clean about some more killings and attacks he'd done in Minnesota and Wisconsin. As well as confirming he was responsible for the crimes he was already convicted of, in 1980, Stefani severely attacked Karen Potak. In 1981, he took Kimberly Compton's life. While he was suspected of these murders due to the phone calls to the police, Stefani also confirmed he killed Kathy Greening in 1982, which he had no connection to. In 1998, Stefani died from his illness.
Don't talk, just listen.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Satoshi Kirishima. In 1975, as part of the extremist group the East Asia Anti-Japan Armed Front, Kirishima took part in a series of bombings in Japan. However, shortly after, the group was raided by the police, resulting in several arrests. Yet Kirishima vanished, becoming one of the country's most wanted fugitives. In 2024, Hiroshi Ukaida was undergoing treatment for terminal cancer in a hospital, with his life approaching its end. He told staff he wanted to spend his remaining time not living under his pseudonym, but his real name, Kirishima. The police then arrested him, taking a DNA sample to test his claims. Yet, while the test comparing his sample to relatives confirmed he was Kirishima, he passed away before it was completed. What other incidents of deathbed confessions that solved crimes did we miss from our video? Let us know below.